Welcome in to DC On Screen, episode 179. I'm your host, David Z. Robertson. This is my co-host, Jason Goss.
Hi.
Today we are going to get super spoilery on Gotham 2x21, A Legion of Horribles. To recap, Hugo Strange brings Fish Mooney back using the DNA of a cuttlefish.
You can't even say the sentence without giggling.
Unlike the other patients, Fish remembers who she is. Because of course she does. She also has nifty new fingernail powers of persuasion, or just long fingernails on her hand, which she uses for her powers of persuasion. Meanwhile, Bruce Wayne is worried about Selena. Alfred is very disappointed in Bruce. And Lucius drives Bruce to Arkham so Jim Gordon can dress up like a security guard, see what wall Lucius marked during his tour with Peabody, and make it down to Indian Hill. Strange and Bruce chat, and that gets super weird super fast, as Strange thinks it's okay to pretty much admit to having involvement in Thomas's murder, and warns/threatens Bruce not to go down the same path as his father. Everybody gets grabbed. Bruce and Lucius are thrown into a gas chamber where Nygma, who has, of course, wormed his way into Strange's good graces, interrogates them about what they know in regards to Strange, while Strange uses some steampunk-looking crap to make Clayface look like Jim Gordon. Also, Selena convinces a brainwashed Firefly that she needs a servant, so Selena is saved. Oh, yeah, and the Court of Owls are totally in charge of Doctor Strange.
Right. And presumably everything.
And presumably everything, yeah.
Yeah. So, big good news of the episode. Court of Owls!
Right?
Yes, sir!
You know what sucks about the Court of Owls here? I really miss those owl masks from the Snyder run.
From the drawings?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, those were creepy. I mean, I have...
Oh, I should say from the Capullo drawings. Sorry,
right,
Jock.
Right.
Don't beat my ass.
Well, I mean, I've seen those masks, and one of the cool things about in the comics was, like, you could see throughout, they had pictures up from, like, various owls throughout time, and they all had the same masks. These masks sort of look like, I don't know what you would call it, like old-timey costume parties for rich people who don't actually dress. They just put on fancy feathered masks or something. That's what this looked like. I don't know. I really favor the white owl-shaped masks that they had in the comics. But whatever, it's Court of Owls, and it's cool that Strange is bringing people back from the dead. Well, gee, wonder why the Court of Owls would be interested in him doing that. Talons, y'all, talons.
Yeah.
So yeah,
that was all pretty fantastic. And the Court of Owls little voice modification, what are their little voice modifier box thing, whatever the hell that is. Yeah, good call. Learning from Arrow there. Good call, Arrow.
Right. So did the Indian Hill resuscitation turn Bridget into a bad actress? Is that what happened here? Because as Firefly,
probably. She's
pretty bad.
No, I disagree on that. I forget what's her actual name in the show. What's
Bridget?
What was the full name? Screw it. Forgot the full name at the moment. But yeah, as Bridget she was pretty good. Thank you. I knew it was a whole set of things. People's charcoalish looking people.
Right.
Yeah, as Bridget Pike, she was actually pretty damn good. Especially like her and Selena, they got on well. The scenes were productive. I enjoyed them. Firefly, I really didn't mind it. I didn't think it was. I didn't think it was bad.
Yeah, I thought she was.
Pre-burn victim Firefly, I thought she was pretty good. And
I agree with that.
Here, it's hard to say. I mean, she thinks she's a god.
Sure.
And maybe she just went to a bunch of like really bad, third-rate plays with bad actors and actresses.
Yeah, well, I just don't understand why,
that's what she thinks gods look like and talk
being
like.
A god and or a supervillain, apparently, according to all these DC shows. Even our beloved The Flash at times does this. Where it's like being a god or a supervillain turns you into a terrible actor.
They get all Bridget, Maxie Zeus on it?
Yeah, she was as bad here as the line, "Boy, Bridget, someone sure scrambled your eggs." Oh, God.
That one made me laugh.
I felt like that was like pulled directly from like a Jimmy Olsen quote or something from like Action Comics circa 1952.
Yeah, somewhere between 49 and 53ish. Yeah, that's probably in there somewhere.
It's actively bad.
I thought it was hilarious, to be honest. It was so stupid it made me laugh.
But you know what was wonderful and hilarious was Bullock talking to the press. Going, suspect was blown up. by a
Yeah.
person or persons unknown.
Right. It's one of the best interviews with any police officer I think I've ever seen. And then he had two great ones coming up after that. At the end of that interview, it was I think it was at the end of the interview, right? Somebody asked him who killed Gallivan, and he just looks into which time.
Yeah, that was good.
That was fantastic. And then later he says, how long are you expecting to be the interim, blah, 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 until literally the second someone else wants the job.
Yeah.
Oh, Bullock, you never fail me.
I could watch a show just called Bullock. Screw Gotham. I don't need Gotham.
No. Unregister Pennyworth. That's not true. I wouldn't give up pennyworth.com for anything.
Right.
But at least go register bullock.com. Give me like 5 good webisodes of each of their separate single adventures.
Mm-hmm.
God, how much would you like to watch Pennyworth back in his like SSI days?
I'd watch it.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know why.
I don't
It would be
know how I
fun.
couldn't. Don't know how I couldn't. I had to give some props to the costume people on this episode, though.
Okay.
Because the little girl playing Poison Ivy,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what they do. It's TV magic, but they make her look like a 60-year-old vagabond. I love it.
You know what I hated is that she just kind of showed up just to be like, hey, look, remember me? I'm a thing. Like,
Oh, they said it in the show, like, what are you doing here? This is exactly where I'm supposed to be. Apparently she was supposed to come feed the birds around that time. That's what I gathered.
yeah. I mean, it's just, I didn't...
Or it
there's
could
no
just be a
point.
meta joke about, what are you doing here? This is where I'm meant to be.
There's
Because
no-
script.
There was no reason for it. I don't... It was weird. It felt like they just had that scene. Like, we might be falling short on this episode.
I've never been disappointed when I saw her, though. That's
Yeah.
to some extent. I admit I'm willing to let things slide because it's yeah, maybe you didn't give me a good enough reason, but hell, that little girl makes me laugh.
She gives me the creeps. But whatever, man.
That too.
You
I
know
have
what?
trouble imagining her as like the seductress version of Poison Ivy later, though. It's because,
Yeah.
like I said, 60-year-old vagabond as a 13-year-old.
Yeah. I don't know.
I think she's gonna get her groove back, I guess, at some point.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know what they're doing with her. I would very much doubt if we ever actually got to see her become Poison Ivy.
No, it's hugely in doubt. Hugely
So,
in doubt. If for no other reason than it would take years to have her an appropriated age to put her in a Poison Ivy costume.
yeah.
I don't know that I've ever seen one that isn't, to put it very lightly, skimpy.
Yeah. From one-piece bathing suit all the way to a few leaves covering choice areas.
Yeah, she
They're all
is
pretty
very
skimpy.
Adam and Eve in the Arkham games.
All right. So, I feel bad saying that the Clayface guy is a terrible actor since all he really got to do was scream.
Yeah, no, I mean, I got nothing against him.
He looks ridiculous.
Which part?
The part where he looks like a 90s Stretch Armstrong commercial.
Well, I'll go ahead and cut to this point, if I may.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
I was so excited about Clayface.
I know.
So damn excited about Clayface.
I know.
And instead, what they gave me was literally someone with a clay face. Okay,
Uh-huh.
fine. You want to limit his powers? We're doing a show that's supposed to be based in a little bit of realism here. Okay, I get it. He can't completely metamorphize himself. Metamorphize? I don't know. He's not metamorphic. We'll go with that one. Okay, I can deal with that. But just turning him into a doppelganger fake Gordon is absolute, unadulterated bullshit.
Absolutely.
Worst use of Clayface in the history of comics and anything related to them.
Look, man, the original Basil Carlo, he was an actor. He didn't even have powers for the longest time. Like, he took on the persona of one of his famous murderer characters and started killing a bunch of people when his when they were going to remake one of his classic movies.
Yeah.
He gave himself clay powers later on, way later on, using like Matt Hagen, the second Clayface's blood or something, if I remember correctly. There are a couple of them that use Matt Hagen's blood, but he became part of the Mud Pack and actually had the clay powers.
Yeah.
This version here is just kind of lame. They could have actually done like a gritty, like serial killer edition of Clayface and actually had the pathos and the fall from. I mean, shit, man, there are actors on the show. They should be able to relate to this.
Yeah. No, that's the fun part. Is like as you you said, there's a whole storyline where he doesn't even have powers. If you wanted to keep it real, you can do that. And I at worst we'd be sitting here saying like, why do we have a serial killer story in the middle of the thing? Kill off a character in the middle of the serial killer story. Find somebody. You got plenty of characters. You got a whole city. Create somebody 4 episodes ago to kill him now. That's fine.
Right, and
you do it all the time.
Hey, I'm not saying it doesn't. Okay, that's not the story they were wanting to tell here. I'm just saying, as for the character Basil Carlo, they should have done Matt Hagen or something. Like, the animated series never even mentioned Basil Carlo. They just went straight for Hagen.
Yeah, because, you're an animated series, and it's a lot more fun to do the character who can change shape and everything. That's fine.
Sure.
But,
and, by the way, they rewrote the Matt Hagen storyline and made it, and, like, pushed it in with the Basil Carlo, where he was, like, a failing actor. Thing? Well, yeah, he was an actor, and then, like, Daggett gave him that stuff that made him be able to change his face, and...
Well, he didn't give it to him. He forced it down his throat in a silhouette in the back of an alley, and it traumatized him.
He gave it to him in exchange for,
oh, that's
work.
Right. That's right.
And then, when he wouldn't give it to him anymore, Hagen broke in and tried to get it, and he basically had his goons kill him by pouring that shit down his throat.
Yeah, they taught him a lesson. Seriously, that scene, they only did it in silhouette, I think. Am I remembering that right?
They only did that in silhouette.
It was one of those scenes you couldn't, if you had done it full on, the censors would have absolutely told you to screw yourself. But
yeah. And then you have that great bit at the end where he's dying, or you think he's dying, and he's like, I would have killed for a death scene like this. And as he's like shifting in shape, like he's like literally undulating in front of Batman as he's dying, and then he like ekes out, "Too bad I won't get to read the notices." Oh, you see, this is why we give Gotham shit, because TAS did so much stuff right.
It's fundamentally we hold it against that high water mark, and that's
that might be on us. I don't know.
It may be. Don't get me wrong. The Gotham on many occasions has absolutely made me forget about TAS.
Sure, they do a few things really well. And
in the last few episodes, we've been all about this. Like, I was excited to watch this episode because they've been on a damn roll. And I'm still, like, I didn't like the Clayface thing. I'm absolutely, I loathe we're going to have a second Gordon who's not really Gordon.
Yeah, I hate that so much.
Please do something else. There's so many other things you could have done with our time.
I agree.
Oh my god.
That's the last thing I want to see, honestly.
It's just I've said it before, it's Heroes that finally broke me. I'm so damn bored with the not really him trope.
Oh, I've been bored with that trope for years.
I'm done with it. I'll tell you what I like though is the DNA they were using was kind of fun. Like when they said cuttlefish DNA to regenerate Fish Mooney, I went, oh yeah, no, Fish is totally going to know who she is. Because they went ahead and expounded it and said like the neural tissue, reconnects itself and blah blah. I was like, oh, cool. So yeah, she's going to come back and she's going to be herself. And I knew that little tiny piece of trivia about cuttlefish that they can regenerate even brain cells and all that. That's cool. Whatever, fine. But I did not know that cuttlefish's their primary diet was scenery. Until I saw Fish Mooney in action.
I just, that's a fine thing to know about the cuttlefish. It's just, I feel like they were like, okay, we have to use the DNA of a fish that has these properties. And they looked around because it had to be a fish to go along with Fish Mooney.
Yeah.
That can't be
and don't get me wrong, there are very few creatures that can actually regenerate neural tissue. And, God, I hope I'm not wrong about that. I've kind of run across that piece of information, and I may be completely wrong. But it's difficult. Like, some creatures can regenerate cell tissue, but not neural tissue. It's different. And like that famous salamander that can regrow any damn thing at once, I'm not sure it can do neural tissue either. It's rare, if not impossible, if I'm wrong about how cuttlefish work. But
well, if Jason is wrong, please go over to our Facebook page.
Please yell at me on Facebook or Twitter.
On Facebook.
Dave will tell him at me on Twitter.
On Facebook. Do it on Facebook. Jason will see it on Facebook.
That's true. I will see it.
I want him to see it. I don't want to have to be his go-between.
Come tell me I'm wrong in person.
Facebook.com/DC on screen.
Right. And just let me know how giant my idiocy has grown. I'll live with it. I've lived through worse. But even in the DNA realm, they use like octopus DNA to do Clayface. That's a cute. Oh, that's cute.
Yeah. So Alfred like yelling at Bruce, "You put your own crap over that girl's safety." I'm like, yeah, keep preaching, Alfred. Bruce won't eventually endanger tons of children.
Alfie, I hate to tell you, but this is not an argument you're going to eventually win. Sorry, buddy.
I was somewhat pleased to see Cornelius Stirk, and then they made him into a sharp-toothed weirdo Klingon character, and I went, okay, never mind.
Yeah.
No.
Is that is that the facade he was putting on that day, or?
Maybe?
Was that how he chose to present himself?
Look, the comics do it too. They change up the different like the way you see characters. Like sometimes they'll have Penguin really, really fat with sharp teeth and long hair. Sometimes he's very cultured, and the creators do whatever the hell they want, and that's part of the reason they keep rebooting shit. But I've seen Cornelius Stirk done in a number of ways, and my favorite way was the way I came to know him. He was much more of a Steve Buscemi character, like a quiet guy who was like just killing people and eating them.
Yeah.
So, big old fat dude, because of course he has to be fat if he eats humans.
Why wouldn't you?
With big yellow sharp teeth like a Klingon. I was intrigued for a second, and it was funny to see Ed reacting the way he was.
Yeah, that was good.
That
was good, but and I don't want to say wasted opportunity because there's a few hundred IPs and
who cares?
You threw it in. Why not? Sure, whatever.
I mean, congratulations, guys! You found the one podcast that has the one person in the world who cares about Cornelius Stirk.
Right.
Even Jeff Johns is going, who?
Who? What? Where did I put him? Oh, shit.
So seemed like Strange kind of put Fish Mooney in the in that outfit from Watchmen.
A little bit, yeah. A little bit.
What's his name again? And God, I don't even remember. I'm not blanking. I know it, but I'm blanking. What is?
Oh, I feel bad. I should know.
I know. Me too. Like I'm just gone.
Wait, now let me make sure. Were you talking about Ozymandias?
Huh?
Were you talking about Ozymandias though, or Owlman?
Yeah, Ozymandias.
Yeah. That's him.
Yeah,
that's a lot more purple in his, I think.
I mean, he had like a similar neck thing going on.
Yeah.
I didn't.
My
catch
favorite
who
part
he
of this
said
though.
That she was going to be called.
Who? What was going to be called?
Because Strange tells Fish, he's like, "You were the goddess, blah blah blah." Like he gives her a name.
Oh.
And she's like, "Bullshit, jive turkey. I'm Fish Mooney, bitch."
Yeah, I didn't catch that because I was already kind of leaping ahead.
Right.
And when I saw the outfit, I got distracted immediately because she comes and... First of all, we found she had cuttlefishery mind control powers.
Right.
Well, whatever. And then later, like the guy comes back with his... with a sandwich. He comes back with a grilled cheese sandwich, and she gives him the whole, "You made me a sandwich," and like I couldn't help it. I was like, she says, "You made me a sandwich," and I'm looking at her going, "Yeah, a ham sandwich." Jesus, woman, pull it back about 10 yards.
You know what's so weird is that like I've seen Jada Pinkett Smith in a lot of things, and she's never been that hammy.
I don't know why she goes so far in this show, and it's not even always in the show. I don't understand. I never do.
Yeah, I don't know.
With her in this, I never quite get it. I actually did enjoy the Strange and Bruce Wayne conversation, though.
Yeah, I did too.
It was weird. Little bit of chess. I liked that. I mean, Strange just straight up begging him make the choice your father never did was kind of cool, and he does as much emotion as he can show as far as that goes. It just genuinely asks him not to make the same mistake because we've learned in the episode that Strange isn't even in control of his own actions. He's clearly working for the Court of Owls and was failing at it early on.
Mm-hmm.
Until he got the first true reanimate. But Bruce telling him like my father fought and died for what he believed was right, and if necessary, so will I. Oh man, almost every week they give me one line like that where I giggle and go, "Oh, tiny bat." One day you will be the man we love.
I have a...
Go ahead.
What?
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, you sure?
Oh, yeah.
I was confused about something, and I wanted to know, because you've studied psychology and stuff. Maybe
Let's give that a shot then. Who knows?
All right.
It's soft science. We'll see.
There's a bit where Lucius Fox and Peabody are walking through the asylum, and Lucius looks at the inmates and goes, "Who designed these uniforms?" Which was funny, because I was like, that's what I've been thinking the whole time. I was like, oh, why are they doing that? And then Peabody looks at him like he's an idiot. She's like, do you have much experience with the mentally ill doctor or whatever, or Mr. Fox or whatever it was? Is there some kind of a thing that I'm not aware of where like lunatics need stripes to maintain sanity or something?
Not at all that I've ever run across. That was pure deflection from her. There's not...
Okay.
There's not one thing that I've ever run across that says, yeah, clearly you should make uniforms that are semantically connected to crazy people. And like from everything from bad TV to good TV to Looney Tunes, you connect the stripes to prison.
Right.
And, crazy houses. You don't, there's no, I couldn't imagine just a justification for that. Frankly, in my opinion, they should all probably be like a light oat sky blue.
Because,
calming color for most people.
The scene very, very much felt like it was just Gotham giving me a middle finger, or like fans like me.
Yeah, I think it was a lantern. It was a hanging a lantern thing. I mean, I think it was.
But at the same time, I was just like, okay, so is there something there? I guess not. Anyway.
Yeah, no, I got nothing, man. There's, I can't help that.
Let me ask you this: did you laugh when Jim looks down and sees the gigantic white arrow that Lucius drew on that wall?
The gigantic, apparently subtle arrow.
Right.
No, but I did laugh before when Gordon gets out of the trunk. I thought to myself, like, who couldn't use a trunk Gordon? That sounds like a great stocking stuffer. Here's a trunk Gordon, most useful thing you can put in your trunk.
Tell him the coast is clear and out he comes to do whatever weird thing you want him to do today.
Yeah. Just very versatile gift idea for anyone with a birthday coming up and a loved one they're trying to help out.
Yeah. I love I love Strange saying your father's actions fired the gun. That got me.
That was yeah. That was it was a brutal conversation between those two. Well done on both their parts, really. And of course, Strange knew they were there the whole time. Mm-hmm. Of course, you're in his house now.
Did I miss an integral part where Selena hogtied Firefly?
I don't remember her being hogtied, but that's probably just on my memory.
It was like, there was a bit where like Selena was like coming after her. Or no, like Firefly was coming after Selena, and it was like, oh no. And she was like, oh, and you need a servant, right? Or whatever. And then like all of a sudden, like...
Oh, it was...
it comes back and Selena has hogtied Firefly.
I don't recall that one. No, I actually liked... This is Selena. This is Tiny Catwoman. You can't be a goddess without a servant. The professor just got to tell you. Mm-hmm. Man, she hasn't disappointed me either.
Yeah.
And more than that, I was delighted with... All right, so Alfred's giant... there is no episode with Alfred in it where I don't have one line that I absolutely adore. And in this one, talking to Bullock here, grab your guns, your badge, your bits, and your bobs, and let's go.
And I love the Bullock bit. Well, we could send in an assault force of a pudgy middle-aged Irish detective and a recently stabbed Englishman. I think the acting captain of the GCPD could do a little better.
Yeah, that was fantastic. I'm telling you, man, those two have never done me wrong.
Oh, man, that's funny. When they put that contraption on Gordon's head and started pouring that white liquid in, I thought, oh, yeah. Here's how he gets the white hair and white mustache. It's mustache Miracle Grow. Yeah. Oh, and I love the one last bit, and he has to put on like the really fake,
right,
big piece of hair that looks perfect once he puts it on.
The rug, the straight rug.
I'm like, oh, what do you know? It looks like Ben McKenzie with his hair intact. Mm-hmm. I've never seen a wig go on that effortlessly.
No, I think there's glue involved in stuff. I'm really not at all sure about that procedure, fortunately.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
But, man.
wigs don't work that way. I mean, I haven't. It hasn't been, a necessity for me to wear one yet. Thankfully, even though I'm going pretty thin. I'm getting kind of thin, but I've worn wigs for videos for our comedy sketches and stuff, and they don't work that way. They don't, especially like that closely cropped haircut that Gordon has on the back and sides. Yeah, that ain't real. Especially not with that wig that they had.
It did not look similar, really, at all.
No.
Just did not. And I've never, like I said, I have no experience with them. I've done a little bit of theater stuff and all that, but it's never come down to wigs for me. And
to wigs.
It's never come down to wigs. And I've been bald one time in my life after a brain surgery. So there's that explanation for anyone who has wondered about me. And hair all grew back. Except for a gnarly little scar.
Yeah.
It's a fine scar.
A scar worthy of a Punisher-type character.
Yeah.
You miss your calling, Jason.
I know. Should have shaved my head and said, look at this scar while I distract people and shoot them. But no.
Right.
In my case, wiggery never came to the front. Never came to the forefront.
Right. Oh, yeah. So, yeah. The promo for next week for the season finale, it is looking like Penguin's in full force. That's pretty much, it's going to be Penguin in Court of Owls, and apparently a Jim Gordon doppelganger. I really hope they don't leave the doppelganger there till next season. I don't want to see that shit. I want to get done with it.
Well, if it's between that and ending what was otherwise a pretty damn strong run you were having on this season, with like a doppelganger episode, I'd almost rather him bench the guy and deal with it next season than deal with him now. I'm just putting off trouble for another day, I know, but...
Yeah, I don't want this looming. I want someone to just come in and shoot Basil Carlo in the head.
In the first 5 minutes. In the first 5 minutes.
Yeah. As far as I'm concerned, they're still in the place, and they're still in Indian Hill, and we've got some cops coming.
Yep.
So just, I know there's going to be a scuffle, and Gordon's going to wind up being subdued, and Carlo's probably going to be... I don't want that.
No, before I even see the Gotham splash screen, I want to see Bullock walk up to this Gotham and shoot him in the head and say, nah, it's not my gym. Where's my gym? What have y'all done?
Yep. That's what I want.
Yep. Who tried to copy my gym?
Don't make me go to the whammy drawer.
Right. Man's acting captain. I think he can do better than the whammy drawer.
Mm-hmm. So, I think that's all I've got.
Yeah, I think we've covered the penultimate Gotham of S2.
All right. Well, guys, thank you for listening to DC On Screen. You can find every episode on DCOnScreen.com. Be sure to subscribe to us on iTunes, Stitcher, or wherever pods are caught. We are proud members of the Giant Size Team Up Network, GiantSizeTeamUp.com. Go and check out the other amazing shows on the network, including our sister show, the Marvel Cinematic Universe podcast, hosted by our friends Matt Carroll and Jeff Randall. Our next episode, we'll be reviewing The Flash 222 Invincible. Until then, keep some DC on your screen.
Judy was boring.
Hello.
Then Judy discovered ChumbaCasino.com.
It's my little escape.
Now Judy's the life of the party.
Oh, baby, mama's bringing home the bacon.
Whoa, take it easy, Judy. The Chumba life is for everybody. So go to ChumbaCasino.com and play over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Here's to choice, to making your voice be heard, to getting exactly what you want, especially when you eat. At Subway restaurants, you choose your freshly baked bread, meats, cheese, and veggies to make a sub that's just right for you. Come in and create yours today. Subway, eat fresh.